How's it going, guys? Code there, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, this is on the prison officer again. I've already covered it once and gone quite in depth with the story. This is a more detailed story. This is why I'm coming back to the story. I'll put a link in the description below, like I always do. For those that don't know, Ayshea Gunn, 27. I think she's transgender. We're not definite on that, but we are LGBT friendly on this channel. She was 27. She's from Johnstown in Wrexham. She was a prison officer at HMP Berwyn. HMP Berwyn holds around 2,100 prisoners, and it's known as a super prison. Super in only its size and its failings, and it's in Wrexham in North Wales. She fell into a sexual relationship with a prisoner who wanted to use her, pretty much. And like I said, she fell under his spell, brought in contraband, had sexual relationships with him, and now got sentenced to 12 months in prison. I'm going to read this story. It's a bit more detailed, guys. Story in the Liverpool Echo. Headline reads, prison guard snogs arm robber in cell and sends him homemade porn. And there's a picture of him actually in the cell. Ayshea Gunn, 27, is now behind bars after starting a 4-month fling with Kuram Razak in a Wrexham prison. A prison officer who fell for a robber serving time in her jail took scandalous photos showing her snogging the crook in his cell. Ayshea Gunn had a 4-month fling with Kuram Razak whilst he was serving time at Berwyn Prison in Wrexham. The pair exchanged inappropriate videos and pictures, some of which were streamed over the internet, reports the Daily Post. The 27-year-old contacted the prisoner more than 1,200 times via 3 separate phone numbers. Some of the calls were made via a third party in Birmingham in order to cover her tracks, and on other occasions she pretended to be someone else when calling the phone in his cell. Mole Crown Court heard she brought him clothes, placed bets for him, and bought a smartwatch into the prison for him to use. Gunn, who had a degree in criminology and psychology, had fallen in love with Razak after her fellow prison officer partner was found to be having an affair. The court heard how she'd been on a training course when she started the job and would have known fully that what she was doing was wrong. Prosecutor Simon Mills said they were both using mobile phones to send sexually explicit videos and stream live footage of themselves. Razak, 29, was serving 12 months for conspiracy to rob. It's actually 12 years. Serving 12 years for conspiracy to rob. Defence barrister Peter Hunter said Gunn of Pants Glass, Johnstown, Wrexham. Defence barrister Peter Hunter said Gunn, the prison officer, of Plant Glass, Johnstown, Wrexham, had not got involved for Razak for financial gain. She'd become depressed and was at the bottom in her world, he said, adding somebody showed her affection and she stupidly accepted it. No, she knew what she was doing. Intelligent girl. Like I said, criminology, psychology degree. Judge Nicholas Parry sentencing Gunn after she admitted misconduct in a public office between July and November last year, said the images were highly sexualised and pornographic images created at significant risk. He jailed her for 12 months. Once she was sentenced, Razak, now of Buckley Farm Prison, Rochdale, Buckley Hall it is, was also given another 8 months by Judge Parry. He admitted 2 charges possessing a specified item inside a prison, namely a mobile phone, between August the 27th and November the 10th, 2018. He also admitted possessing a specified device capable of transmitting or receiving images, sounds or information, namely a Garmin smartwatch, on November 2018. The court heard he had 6 convictions for 13 offences, including a 10-year sentence for armed robbery, assault and possession of prohibited article in prison, but was using his time to try and get his life together when he came out. Judge Parry said mobile phone possession is a serious crime in prison. They are often used for corrupt purposes and there is an epidemic threat to the prison order. They can be used to bully prisoners, order drugs or intimidate witnesses outside. Detective Inspector Dawn Hampson from the North West Regional Organised Crime Group Unit said, "We have worked closely with Her Majesty's Prison and Probation Service to tackle the problem of corruption within prisons. We want to reassure the honest, dedicated, hard-working staff at work that in our prisons that we will continue to take action against people who choose to engage in corrupt activity. Those who choose to offend in such way are not above the law, and we urge staff to be aware of the warning signs and report any type of inappropriate behaviour so we can take action to bring them to justice. That's the end of the story, guys. There's pictures of them all, which I will put in the story at the start. But like I say, guys, I'm convinced that she's transgender. I really, really am. But like I said, we are LGBT friendly. Do you think the prisoner actually gives a shit about this girl? Do you think he actually was besotted and he was planning to spend his whole life with her and his future with her? No, no, no. Muslim inmate, Asian inmate, horny, whether he was white, black, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, Muslim inmate, Asian inmate, trying to get his end away, using the officer to further his own gains. Prisoners are masters of manipulation, and she's fallen into the pocket under his spell. And he's had it over, really, hasn't he? What has he lost, really? Right, yeah, he's been sentenced to 8 months consecutive sentence on top of his 12, right? Minor. Fucking no punishment, really, for the kid. She has lost everything. She's ended up in prison. Do you think that when she gets out, right, that he's going to be standing there waiting for her and like, oh, right, babe, come on. We'll settle down. We'll spend our life together. No. He used her. He was in prison, right? When you're in prison, you'll tell people anything to get what you want, whether that's a partner, whether that's your wife, whether that's a prison officer, whether it's the boys. You'll tell them what you want to hear. It's called jail talk, right? So he's probably said, yeah, we'll get together, we'll settle down, we'll do this, we'll do that. And all the time, really, he was using her. If he really loved her, he wouldn't be asking her to risk her job and bring in phones and smartwatches and knickers and underwear and stuff like that, would he? If you really love the person, you'd be like, babe, I love you, I don't want to lose you, so don't do that, right? Just, it's all right, I'll get through it. And then when I move to another jail, you can come up on visits and stuff like that. But he asked her to bring in contraband. Why? Because he was using her. He was probably married with a couple of children himself. Silly, naive officer. She's got a degree in criminology and psychology, right? Well, she's not going to be able to really use that to go and work as a prison officer. Well, she used it as a probation officer, probation worker, anything, police officer, or anything in the future. Now, is she? Criminal record, in prison, probably end up in a lesbian relationship now. She's probably in HMP Style, which is a female prison in Wilmslow. I think it holds around 442 inmates. When female prisoners end up in the prison system, 9 times out of 10, they end up in lesbian relationships. She's lost everything now. Like I said, she might have even lost her home. She's lost her job. She's lost her good standing. She's in prison. And for what? So she could have a bit of a fling with an inmate. I am for prisoners, but this shit irritates me. But on the flip side of that, I also understand why it happens. I understand that prisoners are masters of manipulation. Prisoners will always seek to exploit weakness, whether that's in another inmate, whether that's in the security of the prison, or in this case, a naive, silly officer. Masters of manipulation. Use every situation to your own cause and further your own cause. That's what he's done in this case. And he's really, like I said, 8 months run consecutive, got 12, blah blah blah, minor. He's actually got his cat C and he's in Buckley Hall now. Won't be long before he's getting his cat D, and he'll end up in Thorncross or he'll end up in Kirkham. She is spending Christmas in prison. And her solicitor was probably telling her, no, listen, Ayshea, you won't go to prison for this. You won't go to... She's a white girl. Well, I say white girl, like I said, I'm convinced she's transgender. But yeah, he's probably said, the barrister's probably said, no, you won't go to prison for this. I'll try and get you suspended sentence. But the judge has made a scapegoat of her because she's a prison officer. Like I say, I'm for prisoners, so I don't really mind this, but it annoys me, these stupid officers that fall in the trap all the time. But looking at it from, let's put it as a law-abiding citizen, my view, right? By her bringing in contraband, it undermines the security of the prison for those good officers within the service. And like I say, where you bring in contraband, that incurs debt for the prisoners that the prisoner sells them to. And then when you've got debt, where you've got corruption, you have contraband. Where you've got contraband, you've got debt. Where you've got debt, you've got fear, intimidation, bullying, and violence. And she contributed to that. And like I say, Berwyn Prison is a joke of a prison. They're having away with sex offender wings. They're integrating sex offenders into general population. The amount of corruption coming out of the prison, cell fires, deaths in custody, medical negligence, fires, violence, corrupt officers, sexual relationships between officers and prisoners is happening across the board in prisons up and down the country. Fact. On that note, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Link in the description below, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.